Hi Danielle, how you doing? Okay, the opening page, I think the logo is very confident. It's got a very nice stature, very stately, very confident. I like it. I think it stands very strong. As your page, background portfolio page, I don't think you need to include PDF portfolio in there. This is fine. Your contact information is great, and everything else looks great here. I just don't think you need the word PDF portfolio. I think that's kind of a given. Let's jump to the first page. Background pages. I think this is set up really well. I want to show you something though. It could be. Let me just command R this real quick. Okay, and I just want to grab a guide and I want to drop it right where that P is. Okay, and you can see that you're a little out of alignment here with your bottom line, and that seems to be the same on every one of. Yeah, this one is the D, the M, and the bottom line is out of alignment. This one, it seems like, yeah, you got to check your alignment there. It's very subtle, but I immediately noticed it, and I think it is definitely something that should be looked into. This alignment right here. Matter of fact, I would get everything aligned to that left margin. I think that would make sense. Okay, as I was saying, the background page, it's great. I mean, it's very unassuming. It's allowing the work to speak for itself. It's not trying to do something it's not supposed to be doing. It's merely acting as an area to house your work, somewhat objectively, and showing the pertinent information. So that's great. You're using a grid, and that's fantastic. It's very consistent from page to page. In fact, it's identical from page to page. I think the idea is there, but this wide panel, narrow panel, there's so many variations on that you could be adding in your work. And let me just give you an example. Okay, you've got, let's just take a look at this piece right here. You've got the wide panel. So basically you have a 3-column grid. And you're using, in the first 2 columns, you're combining the first 2 columns, and then you're using the last column to stand alone. That's great, but you can do so much more. You can actually increase the size of your page, your viewing page, because right now, when you think about it, I mean, boy, you're almost up to a half the page. I mean, a third of your page is white space, and that, to me, is wasted real estate. I mean, you've got your 3. For this page, for example, what I would do is this. I would add another box here, another box here, and, these would all grid out of, well, I'm sorry, wait a second. I would add, come on, Adobe. Okay, box here, come on. Okay, there would be a box. There would be a box. There would be a box along the bottom. Okay, it's equal, everything's equal. But you just have your 3-column, your 3 equal with boxes at the bottom of this grid so that you could add 3 more images and it will make it that much more interesting. For example, you could show a couple of these stacked up. You could show a different shot of this. You could show a couple of these little stamps stacked up. You could show a different side of this, or a different angle of this, or maybe illuminated or something. The possibilities are limitless. Okay, so here, for example, you could take this page, and a variation here would be to use your double spread on this side, your single spread on this side, and then your 3 bottom windows consistent here. You see what I'm saying? And then you could add like close-ups of the type here and close-up of the type. But this right here, this presentation here where you have the book cover, the magazine cover, and then a really close cropped in version of the magazine cover, that's not really, it looks like a mistake. I mean, if you're going to zoom in to show detail, zoom in to show detail. Really get in there. This looks right here, looks like it's just miscropped. Do you see what I'm saying? And then, of course, we could have the 3 at the bottom. And that's what I mean. And I'm just using that as an example. But that's what I want you to think about. This is a great shot, but this is just a cropped shot. So, Again, is it interesting? Or is it convenient? I think my take as a professional designer and a hiring professional, this looks like you conveniently needed to use that space, so you just crop this in close and put it there. So there's not a whole lot of thought behind this image itself. I mean, wouldn't it make more sense to get a close up of the typography over here or something? Or you know what I'm saying? I mean, and think about how you can give us 3 more creative shots on this piece. This piece, I love this piece. I really do. I'm questioning this right here. Why is this here? It's amazing what can happen when your head's in the clouds. It's not here. It's not here. It's not anywhere. So why is it here? This is just a close-up of the part of this part of your ad. It should be nothing more, nothing less. So adding or taking something away is something that would not even be considered in this situation. So think about that. Again, you could think about the 3 panels at the bottom. Likewise, this page, you've heard me say this, and your sketching ability is really phenomenal. What I would like to do is I'd like to get these in those full panels, get one sketch in that, or one of these, or 2 of these in one of those full panels. I need to see these bigger. I think you should want to show these bigger because, number one, I mean, we've already decided and we've already talked about the fact that portfolio reviewers and hiring professionals love to see sketches and process. So if you're good at sketching, boy, put that up front and center. Don't hide it in these little tiny thumbnails. The composition here is just straight down the middle. We got to fit this into those grids, into that grid. Every page should fit into the grid. This page, this looks great, but here, you want to show a close up, but you don't know what what close up to show. So you're trying to fit her and the type in the same little cropped area, and it just looks congested. Either show a close up of the type or show her in this area. But this looks forced. This page looks phenomenal. Love to see those 3 panels down in there. Now, when I say 3 panels, it doesn't mean you have to use all 3. Some pages you can use none. Some pages you can use 1. Some pages you can use 2. Some pages you can use 1 over here. Some pages you can use all 3. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a grid. It's flexible. I think that we need to show more of this work. This is it. You're saying web, digital media, and then just that's it. Really think we need to show more here. I know I said something before about cropping the images, but right now, we're just using this almost half the page as blank. You see what I'm saying? Talked about this piece already. So this is, I guess this is photo retouching skills. So I would suggest on this piece right here, do you need to show it as a calendar? Because right now, I think you're very, very heavily dependent on these template shots. You have one on every page, basically. And I don't know which ones, like this one looks like, I don't know if you developed that or if that was a template. This definitely looks like it was a template. Or did you put that in Photoshop yourself? That definitely looks like a template. That does too. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. That looks like a template, as does that. And now if you did these yourself, this is phenomenal. But that definitely looks like a template. So, I mean, I guess what is the relevance of showing this as a photo retouching piece, as showing as a kind of a holiday calendar? Do you see what I'm saying? If it's photo retouch, show a before and after of the piece. Do you see what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's confusing. It really led me astray the other day, and has been for a while, showing the calendar. I just didn't know where it was going. And this one, you're saying this is photo retouching as well. Okay, but yeah, that's okay. I would reword this. I would not use the same verbiage for 2 different pages in your portfolio. That's really, really unusual. Talked about these. This looks awesome. Good job here. Charlotte's Rob again looks good, but look how stark the page looks with half of it missing, with all sorts of stuff missing out of the page. Love that card. Love that card. Okay, all right, good job. Page looks great. Your design looks great. Your edits look great. Everything looks phenomenal. Good sketches, good layout, good page construction, good page mechanics. Everything is coming along beautifully. Right now, my concern is the grid and how it's not being utilized to its potential. So think about it. And another thing, I'd like to see that I know we need to see the cover letter. I'd like to see that resume up close. Right now, I think you were getting this target effect, like this right here is the focal point, and it's kind of not allowing you to look away. It's like the same kind of thing as if you draw crosshairs. It's just kind of a vortex that brings the eye into that area where that intersection is. So I'd like to see that a little bit closer, see if maybe we can think about adjusting that area accordingly. Okay. All right. Awesome job. Hey, any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. Okay. Thanks. Good job.